What's going on? It's the Rap Nerd, and as I do a lot of times, I'm running errands, and I start thinking about different topics, especially this one, if you're seeing up top. Hollywood's obsession with remakes, requels, and IPs, right? I was just thinking about a lot of the movies that have released recently that have all failed financially, because that's really the biggest thing, because fans aren't turning out to go see these films like Indiana Jones, The Flash, Shazam 2, Transformers didn't do that well. We're even starting to see Mission Impossible, which I think is a very, very strong franchise, not even do as well as it did. And I think the key thing about this is to reference those films and other IPs that have done well, like we've seen with Super Mario Brothers. Barbie looks to be making $1 billion too. Top Gun Maverick, the Batman, these are also IPs that have been used before. But the difference between the two, I feel like, is the level of freshness. The audience can see something and understand when this is something fresh, or if it's going for more of a cash grab, right? And that's not to say that all of the movies that are done here are cash grabs, you know, the ones that did fail. Some of them I even like, but it doesn't, it feels like a cash grab when it's something that we've done over and over again. You know, it's something that's out of left field that just seems like there's not really much of a strong creative point to make it, you know? Because I don't think remakes and requels and just IPs are the issue here. It's wanting to rehash, wanting to grab off of what looks like it could make money. Because I look at the new Ninja Turtles movie, right? We've seen Ninja Turtles a number of times, but here we've never seen them in this capacity with this type of art style. It feels fresh. I can feel excitement amongst movie fans with that film in general. When Evil Dead Rise dropped, that's a movie we've seen before. You know, the franchise has been running since '81, but this trailer, we was like, oh, this feels fresh. It feels fresh. And you compare how Evil Dead Rise feels to the new trailer for The Exorcist Believer. It doesn't feel fresh. And I don't know if companies think that audiences are dumb and will just buy into stuff just because it looks like it could be good. No. I think with so many different mediums to watch from, streaming, YouTube, hell, podcasts and all that things, people have more choice than ever now. We're not all forced to rely on the theatrical release to really offer something that feels fresh. So now more than ever, people are being more picky. Because I can tell you right now, there are a list of remakes and requels, especially in the horror genre, that I think if they redid, they would spark a lot of interest and financial backing. I mean, I think about movies like The Chopping Mall. That would be a great one to remake. People Under the Stairs. Congo. I don't even know if people even know about what that movie is, but I just imagine like a remake of that in the right hands would be fresh. Because again, it's all about fresh. You gotta put it in the hands of a team that's gonna bring a fresh take to whatever that material is. Like I saw some tweet, I think it might have been from Variety, one of those Twitter accounts was saying that Hasbro has plans to make a movie out of a bunch of their board games, and like one I remember is Uno. And I was just like, what? Like, to me, that's the wrong way to go about announcing a film. Like, you're just literally naming a bunch of films that are pieces of the property. Give us a fresh take first before you just announce it. Who knows? Uno could be hard, but just based off of just wanting to announce that to see like, oh, where do people lie, because this is a property that we have and it's very popular, to see if it gets excitement. Wrong way to do it, yo. Super wrong way to do it. We gotta go back to the core of what kept cinema what it is. You know, the art form. And I know it's a business, I get it, but 80% of the time, business does better when it's coming from the core of whatever that business is, and not a cash grab. Same thing with art. Same thing. I think studios really need to sit down and be like, do we really need to release this film? Because not only is tracking say that this property isn't even a thing, which is a thing for real. Like you can literally track market research to a certain property to see what the pulse is on it. It's easy to do. It's not. I'm a marketing major, and there are ways, and many different ways to pinpoint, like if something is in the red in interest or if it's in the green in interest. It's not difficult. So there needs to be more of that, because I just don't feel like there is that. There's movies get thrown out and just like, who agreed to this? Like, I mean, I think about Need for Speed movie. It's like, who the fuck, like, in 2014, bro? Like, and there's mad things like that. You know, sometimes people may luck up and roll the dice on a film that works, even though it may not have anything good about it. But again, freshness. Not to say that it has to reinvent the wheel, but just a different design. You know, that's what it's about. You ain't gotta reinvent the wheel, just a different design. There's a little flip on Pusha T. He said better design, but I don't think necessarily a better design means fresh. It could be the same level of quality, but just if it's a little pivot to the right, different. Like, you look at Nope, like Jordan Peele, one of the things I feel that always makes his box office strong is, you know, he's coming with something fresh. Quentin Tarantino, he's coming with something fresh. Nolan, something fresh. That's creative. It all works. If you have a team that's willing to make some fresh shit out of these new IPs, hell, not new, out of these old IPs, remake something or even do a requel, it's gotta be fresh, and if it does, it will work. So Hollywood, please pay attention. If we keep prioritizing what we think is gonna make dollars opposed to what actually will, it could be the end of theaters as we know it, and I don't want that to happen, man. So I just had to put my quick 2 cents in about that. And one last thing I forgot to mention while on the subject of fresh, what also keeps cinema fresh is fresh ideas, fresh movies, fresh characters, fresh scores, all of this stuff. Studios also really need to continue to invest in fresh content, fresh films, fresh ideas. And when I say invest, not just for production, but also promote it. There are a number of good things that just fall by the wayside because they didn't choose to invest in it. Like, 2 movies that I can think of off top are Operation Fortune, which I thought was fantastic. The original idea that they just dumped off in a packed weekend and didn't promote at all. I thought the movie was fantastic. Cobweb is a horror movie that just released that I thought was great. You know, it takes place in Halloween, has a great atmosphere, and the third act just flips everything on its head, but they didn't promote that shit for anything. So I'm just like, fresh ideas, and also invest in marketing them. You don't market them, no one's gonna know. So I feel like those 2 things are what really is going to keep the industry alive. If you're gonna go the route of remakes, IPs, requels, make sure it's a fresh take, and also let's get more fresh movies, film ideas out there and promote it and market it so we can spread it to the world. So what do you think is the cause of these remakes and requels? Do you think it's something different? Disagree? You agree? Be in the comments. Jump in the comments and be nice as usual. Just an opinion. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already subscribed, thank you. And until next time, peace. Rap Nerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy.